welcome back to the Animal and Sports Podcast. My name is Riley Viss. Alongside me is Blake Parks. And we have state basketball. Finally, we've come to the final 8 teams of 1A and 2A, 3A and 4A play next week to see who goes to state for them. The only teams that we have around here is Sergeant Bluff Luton versus Lamar's, as MLC lost to Lamar's, and I don't really care about the other teams.
Sergeant Bluff beat Kill.
Yeah. Alright, so let's jump into 1A. The teams making it to state out of 1A is Bishop Garrigan, Lake Mills, Montezuma. They come back from last year. Remsen St. Mary's, 4th year in a row going to state. West Fork, Martinsdale, Springvale, and Wapsie Valley. Teams making it for 2A. Back-to-back year is Northland. Actually, it's a 3-peat, maybe even a 4-peat. I don't know if they went 4 years ago, but Northland is back for the 4th year, or for the 3rd year in a row for sure. Looking for back-to-back titles as they remain undefeated. Boyden Hall is back from last year. Comanche, Trainer, Monticello, West Sioux, Pella Christian, and Woodward Granger. I think Monticello was there last year. No, they weren't. I don't think. I don't know what teams all made it last year, but I know a lot of the teams this year were good last year, but they got upset. So let's dive right in. The state kind of has this predicted as Bishop Garrigan number 1, Lake Mills number 2, Montezuma number 3, Remsen number 4, West Fork number 5, Martinsdale number 6, Springville number 7, and Wapsie Valley number 8. We'll dive into 1A real quick. We agree with the 1 seed as Bishop Garrigan is probably by far the best team in 1A right now. They are 22-2. They have the toughest road to state. This is why they will earn that 1 seed. I mean, if you have the toughest road to state, you have a good season, you arguably have the best talent in 1A, you're going to get that 1 seed. All these rankings at state, so when the bracket comes out, the rankings are based off of coaches' votes only. Just the 8 teams that made it state, they take the 7 teams besides for their team, and they rank it 1 through 7. So that's how the seeding is done. In my opinion, it's better than what they used to do, which used to be record, which was freaking awful because, you have 2 losses and now you're the 7th seed. That's not right at all. Just because you're undefeated doesn't mean you get the 1 seed, but usually if you're undefeated, you might be the best team. But Lake Mills at number 2, they're like the most talented team. They split with Bishop Garrigan, so they split with the number 1 team, so that's good. They have a ton of talent. We don't know them very well, but they are 23-2, and we agree that they're the 2nd best team. Montezuma comes in at number 3. We agree with that. They're 23-2. They're the best player in Trey Shear. They're the most dangerous team, and they score easily. So they're kind of like the so-called West Sioux of 1A. It's just they have a little bit deeper of a bench, and they aren't as talented, I guess. But they're the West Sioux of 1A with a deep bench. Number 4, we have Remsen. They have Remsen. We agreed with them. 22-3. Multiple top wins versus top 10 teams. They beat West Sioux at the end of the year to tie for the War Eagle Championship.
They also beat South O'Brien.
Trying to think. They have a bunch of good wins. We just can't think of them right now. They beat St. Albert Council Bluffs. Some people have them in the top 15. Let's see. Siouxland Christian, they jumped in and out of the top 10 this year. So that's another big win. But they had a tough schedule for the most part. They had a tough road to state towards the end of their road. But that's what they had there. And we will have Blake do 5 through 8.
Yeah, so at number 5 we got West Fork coming in at 23-2. I don't really know much about them. Do you?
Yeah, just talk about it. We don't know much about them, but from what the state said,
they got a good record.
Yeah, that's
about it.
That's why they think they're going to get this seed, because they have a good record, so coaches are going to vote them up there because nobody really knows them around here, but they have a good record, so that's their argument for now.
Yeah, then at number 6 we got Martinsdale. They're 23-3 this year. They have top 3 talent-wise. Their strength of schedule is low, and they have some good wins, so that's why they're not in the top 5, maybe 4, just because maybe that strength of schedule is not that tough. But yeah, they still made it state, so good for them. At number 7, there's Springville, coming in at 20-5. They don't have any big wins, but they do have a lot of good talent, so that's why we agree that they'll be a 7 seed. And at the 8 seed, we got Wapsie Valley with 18-7. They got a really good athletic team, and their record is not as good as the other team, so that's probably why they'll get that 8th seed. But if they play Bishop Garrigan, they'll be surprised if they make that a really, really good game to go watch.
It's going to be hard for Bishop Garrigan to lose now unless teams match up well with them, because 5 out of their 7 rotational players are 6'2" and taller. They have 2 players under 6'2", and I'm guessing that's just 2 guards, which is really freaking tall for 1A. So that's what's going to make them a super tough out in 1A. If it was 2A, they'd match up pretty well with a few teams, but this is 1A. It's going to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, so now we'll jump to 2A, as I'll do 1 through 5. Number 1, we agree with that. Coming in 24-0, we got Northland. In the last 4 years or so, they, out of 107 games, they're 105-2.
That's extremely impressive. And another reason that they're going to get this 1 seed is because they have Austin Helmer, one of the better guards in 1A, or in 2A right now. He's not one of the best players yet, but I believe he's only a sophomore, so he'll get up there.
He's a sophomore, junior, so he still has a few more years left.
Yep.
Number 2, we got Boyd Hall. They're 21-3.
That's what they got.
That's what they have. Ours, we have them at a number 4 spot. They got a strong schedule. They're runners up last year, and they have people coming back that were part of that team of last year, so they'll know how to handle all the pressure and stuff like that. So they'll be one of the more tougher teams to beat in the tournament. At number 3, we got Comanche, and we agree with that. 21-3. They're probably the most talented, but they're not really that consistent. They got multiple D2 players, and they also split with Monticello, who is also in this tournament. At number 4, we got Trainer, but we think that they'll probably get a number 2 seed. They're 24-1. They're consistent. They're really good, but they just really don't have any standout players, so that might hurt them, but also it might help them. But throughout the year, they've been really consistent winning-wise. At number 5, we got Monticello, 21-2. We don't think they'll get the 5. They'll probably get a 6. But they're one of the top teams for talent, but they also think Comanche's better, so that's why Comanche's up at that number 3 spot, and Monticello's down at that 5 spot. And Riley will finish up 2A.
Alright, so we got the 6 seed. It is West Sioux. They're the most dangerous team by far, but they also got no bench. So really, if they have a cold day at state in this field of 8, if they have a cold day, they're not winning against any of these 8 teams, 7 teams. They won't beat anybody unless they're playing good. I mean, that's any team right here. There's 8 really good teams. This is finally a year where we have no bad team at state. I mean, Woodward Granger's the 8 seed, and they are top 10 team. All 8 of our teams came in the top 12 of our rankings and of the state's rankings. I think 7 out of the 10 were in the state's final rankings, I believe. So that's very impressive. That never happens. I mean, that is very uncommon because of how the districts are set up. But the 7th seed is Pali Christian at 13-10. They have the hardest schedule. They play all 3A and 4A teams from their conference, and they still finish tough in their conference, with their conference record being better than what their overall record is. But they're a very good team. They're very physical, and they have good size and fast, strong, physical, very athletic. So that's a tough team to take out, despite their record. And people are going to want to play Woodward Granger over Pali Christian, so they're going to put Woodward Granger at the 8 seed instead of the 7 seed. because Woodward Granger's not as good as Pella Christian because Pella Christian's used to playing all these 3A, 4A teams, and Woodward Granger plays all these 1A teams. So they have really good 1A wins, but no good 2A wins. So we got them at the 8 seed. They probably won't get the 8 seed. I feel like Pella might get that 8 seed, but Northland would much rather play Woodward Granger than Pella Christian because that would be a great game. And I believe that's a battle for Maroon. I think they both wear Maroon. But those are our 2 fields for the top 8 in 1A and 2A. What's a sleeper team in 1A for you?
For me,
I'm gonna say Remsen. A lot of people are sleeping on Remsen this year. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 teams really aren't the best. It's a top 4 heavy field this year, in my opinion, from what I've researched and heard all year. I'll take Remsen as my so-called sleeper team as they are the 4 seed.
I think mine, I'm going to take Martinsdale just because not a lot of people heard them, and they're also not maybe in the top 4 or 5 like they might deserve, but I guess you don't really hear a lot about them, so you don't really know if they're a good team or if they're a bad team, but it seemed like in their district they were handling business, and so yeah, I think Martinsdale is going to be my sleeper team.
Alright, and we jump over to 2A. What is your sleeper team?
I'm going to pick Pella Christian. Pella Christian, because people are going to look at the record and be like 13-10 and they made it. Oh, they must not be that good. They must just got lucky. So, yeah, people might sleep on them a little bit, but considering they're also playing 3A, 4A teams, that's really going to make it really tough for other teams because, yeah, if you play 3A, 4A and you come out with a 13-10 record, that's pretty good, and you're a 2A school.
Right. I think, depending on kind of how seeding goes, I guess you're going to have to say Monticello. I don't know, they got a really talented team. It's just, there's a lot of teams that are better than them, but if we're looking at teams outside the top 4, they're probably the team to make the biggest run. Maybe even West Sioux, if they can stay hot against all these really good defenses. But I'm telling you, every single team that made it to state in 2A has a defense, and it is stout. For the first time ever, I think Boyne Hall's not listed in the bottom 4 teams. Wow, people actually watch Boyne Hall now.
Also,
speaking
of first time ever, this is West Sioux's first time ever making it to state, so congrats to them. First time winning even a district champ. Well, of course, winning a sub-state, but I also think it was their first time winning a district championship too this past week. So, congrats to them for making it. Hopefully, they can make a run.
The hard work continues to pay off for that basketball and football team, but unfortunately, after this year, they're going to be terrible.
Yeah,
just terrible.
Because they lose what, everybody but
every
their freshmen. Every single starter but their freshmen. Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, that freshman's going to average 25, 30, but he's got nobody around him to help him, so he ain't doing nothing next year. He can carry them to mid-conference, maybe push up top, but Unity returns a ton. Harris Lake Park still returns Bubba Sohn. It'll be a 1v1 matchup against them. Harris Lake Park also returns a shooter, and I think their big guy, they only lose really Isaac Heinen, and I think one more. Remsen loses a little bit, not a terrible lot. Spencer's brother will fill in his shoes for him. Blaine comes back.
The freshman that is out for the rest of the year returns.
He'll be back. Remsen will probably make it to state again next year.
Well, I think the War Eagles is going to be really interesting to watch. Who's going to fight for that spot?
It'll be a weird season. I think Unity probably wins it next year. Now they'll probably choke. They got so much talent, they always choke. Next year they won't really have a star standout player. They can, if someone arises to the challenge to be the star player, to be the leader, the captain, the man that's going to take that last second shot. That's what they need. If they can't get that, then they are not going to be nothing late in the season. They might win the conference, but they ain't going to state next year if they can't. fill in their two leaders' shoes, even though one didn't play. What else can we talk about here? I guess our Northwest Iowa teams for 1A is Bishop Garrigan, somewhat Northwest Iowa. It's a little dry from here. It's more northern Iowa, but still so-called Northwest. Remsen St. Mary's is really close to us, as it is an hour away from us. Boyne Hall is my hometown. West Sioux is a good 40-minute drive for me. It might be like 20 to 30 for you.
I think it's like 27.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's like 37 minutes for me.
Otherwise, I think we just have 2 in each class, which is good.
Yeah.
We'll have 1 in 3A for sure, and maybe a Sioux City team will make it for 4A. So we got to represent the Northwest Iowa regions. I guess we can kind of predict these matchups. If we have a 1 and 8, it's Bishop Garrigan and Wapsie Valley. Bishop Garrigan's going to take that one. Lake Mills and Springville. I'm going to take Lake Mills easily in that one. And then Montezuma and Martinsdale. That one's going to be a tough matchup, but I think Trey Shear is going to take over at state this year and carry them through that game. And then Remsen and West Fork. I'll take Remsen fairly easily for me. I mean, West Fork's just got a good record. Nothing really to show for it. They don't have any big wins or anything. So that leads to the second round, Bishop Garrigan and Remsen, of course. I talked to Spencer Short from Remsen, and I was like, hopefully they don't pair you guys with Bishop Garrigan until a championship. And he's like, yeah, no doubt, that would be terrible for Northwest Iowa. But they'll do it anyways. It happens every freaking year. Northwest Iowa will never play in the championship because they don't want that. Because they know it's probably the two best. I mean, Northwest Iowa's had the two best teams many years, but they always put them on the same side of the bracket just to ruin it.
They did it last year for 2A. Boyne Hall and Rock Valley would have played second round.
Right. And then I guess the 3-2 seed would be Lake Mills and Montezuma. I will take Montezuma in that one. Don't get me wrong, Lake Mills is good, but I think Montezuma just carries them.
Montezuma carries them, or Trey Shear carries them?
Montezuma carries themselves. Bishop Garrigan is winning it this year, I think. I don't think anybody's got a team to stop them. I don't know. What's your opinion? Who's your favorite to win?
My favorite's probably going to be Bishop, but I also won't be surprised if either Lake Mills or Montezuma could give them a run for that championship.
Yep, I kind of have the same idea as you. I just think Montezuma and Remsen, that'd be one heck of a game. It's Trey Shear versus Spencer Shorg, but I think Remsen, I don't know, that game would be close. I'm not going to
Didn't they
predict
play
it.
last year in state?
No.
Or no?
No.
Oh no, they played Auburnette.
And then in 2A, what is your top 3 favorites to win this one?
Top 3, I'm going to go Northland, Trainer, and I think Boyne Hall might actually have a great chance of winning it this year, as they got people returning from last year playing that Northland team. And I also think they're probably better than they were last year.
Right. I'm actually not taking Northland as my favorite team because I read a little bit on them, and they lost their star player, and then they lost their other key player. I forgot his name, but they lost 2 really key players. Boyne Hall sort of lost key players, but not so much. I mean, they lost their point guard, but they replaced it with Tanner DeSlavian, your point guard, which is much better than Vanderwilt at point guard. Just because he sees the floor better, he's taller, he's more athletic, and he can score a lot easier. And keep Moshe as a point guard. That's still better than having a smaller guy that only shoots really threes. He doesn't drive the most. So my top 3 favorites are going to be Comanche, Trainer, and Boyden Hall. No order at all. Just those 3 teams are my 3 favorites. Northland, don't get me wrong, they probably the best team in the state. Maybe not. You can make an argument for any team in 2A this year. Anybody could freaking win it this year.
But remember, Austin's better than Jake.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think Jake worked way harder than Austin.
He did.
and I think it's going to continue to be that way. Don't get me wrong, Austin's still going to work hard, but the shoes to fill in for Jake is just way too much. Jake broke almost every record at Northland. Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the NBA players. Klay Thompson, his little brother can't make it the NBA because there's so much to fill there. The older brother is usually always better, most of the time, unless the older brother didn't do very much. So it's just a thing. Steph Curry's way better than Seth. It's
not right now. Seth's better.
No.
Steph's hurt.
But yeah, it's just Austin's a great player. He's gonna go down as probably the second best player to ever play at Northland. But Jake is much better. He's got much more accolades, much more achievements, just everything for Jake. So
that's also because Jake because he's been knocked out the playoffs possibly 3 years in a row before actually winning that championship. So that's probably the reason he's worked his tail off and wanted to be the best he can be. And
in my opinion, what really flipped the switch the most was junior year losing to a recruited team. And I know for a fact that made him furious. It made his dad furious that they had to play that. And they were the best team in 1A by far that year if it wasn't for a recruited team. So-called recruit. We can't keep saying recruited because if they weren't, then they earned it. But they sort of recruited. They didn't recruit the style that most teams would. And in 1A, it's illegal to recruit. So they went the long way and figured out a way to do it. So they didn't necessarily recruit, but they recruited. Like, it's illegal in 1A, so, or in Iowa, so you can't recruit, period. I mean, everybody was saying West Sioux recruited the Kopic brothers, too.
No, there's no way because his mom took a job at West Sioux, which made him forced to move.
Right.
So he couldn't take that year. He didn't have to take that year off.
Right. It can literally go both ways. It can go both ways. But that's basically it for our podcast today. There's not much to talk about yet until the brackets do come out.
Hopefully in the next few days they will be out.
Right.
As 3A and 4A will finish up on, I think probably Thursday maybe, I don't know. Thursday or Friday, somewhere next week, but yeah.
Any last words? I guess our next podcast will be on our way to state. It'll be a Monday morning. We will just record in the car, as I believe it'll just be easiest for us to just record in the car instead of doing a whole nother podcast. So we'll just do it in the car on the way there. It'll be easier for us. Yeah. We'll see you guys later. We will see you guys Monday morning or maybe Sunday when we record a podcast. We will let you guys know. Anyways, have a great day. Have a great night. Enjoy the nice weather outside. And hopefully see you guys at state. If you guys see us at state, say hello. And yeah, have a great day.